From gardening to animals to extreme renovations, welcome to Homesteading at College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Today we're going to talk about a new series that we're going to do on the College Hill Farm YouTube page. We have been discussing it, and we think that when you talk about an Appalachian style lifestyle, you're really talking about a type of prepping. And we're going to start a new series, and we're going to call it Casual and Complementary Prepping. Now, it's a common sense approach to prepping for old farts like me. I'm not going to be able to grab a survival gear and run out and trek 300 miles. It's not going to happen. So it's going to be a common sense thing about how to prep. Now today we're going to answer that homesteader prepper question. The number one question they always have: how much food do I need for a year? Well, this episode we're going to concentrate on how much you can grow in your garden. And I'm going to do that by showing you how much I grow. When you think about a homestead, you think about gardens, animals, those kinds of things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to confine myself to gardens in this episode. I want to talk about how much food does it take, how much food do I grow in my garden. Crystal and I grow quite a bit of our own food. So we're going to talk about that. Now, I'm not going to talk about, we make jams and jellies and pickles and where you add sugar and all that stuff. Not going to talk about that at all. But what we are going to talk about is calories. We're going to talk about the calories of the food that comes off of our land. And we're going to show you what we harvest and how that compares to how much it would take for a year. So without talking it too much, let's go ahead, and I'm just going to show you what we put up in an average year. Now, it'll probably take about 1 minute and 30 seconds to run through so that you can see everything. Now, all the pictures are our own. We haven't taken any pictures of anybody else's produce. All this produce is produce that we've harvested right here on College Hill Farm's homestead. So, without talking it anymore, let's look at that video. 58 pounds of broccoli, 11,600 calories. Brussels sprouts, 60 pounds, 13,800 calories. 55 pounds of cabbage, 8,275 calories. 66 pounds of cauliflower, 9,900 calories. 50 pints of canned green beans, 3,500 calories. 59 quarts of frozen and dried beans, 8,850 calories. 30 pounds of eggplant, 3,750 calories. 28 quarts of peppers, 3,528 calories. And 30 pounds of tomatoes and green tomatoes, 2,410 quarts of canned tomatoes, 8,580 calories. 26 pints of canned beets, 3,146 calories. And 20 pints of canned carrots, 1,200 calories. 46 quarts of frozen corn, 12,800 calories. 51 pints of canned corn, 9,000 pounds of pumpkins, 2,950 calories. 18 quarts of squash, 1,728 calories. 40 pounds of butternuts, 9,200 calories. And 80 pints of cucumbers, 2,800 calories. 120 pounds of onions and green onions, both red and white, 21,720 calories. 380 pounds of potatoes, 133,000 calories. 100 pounds of sweet potatoes, 156,000 calories. 5 gallons of raspberries, 5,200 calories. 13 gallons of blackberries, 13,520 calories. 8 gallons of grapes at 7,808 calories. Various herbs, 100 calories. 20 pounds of lettuces and greens, 1,060 calories. 2 gallons of walnuts cracked, 16,736 calories. 50 pounds of turnips, 6,356 calories, and 25 pounds of parsnips, 8,500. For a grand total for the garden year, 488,137 calories, all in. Okay, you saw what we have, 488,137 calories. That's a typical year harvest here on College Hill Farm Homestead. So if you look at that, that's a lot, but is it enough? Well, let's talk about an individual? Well, before we do that, let's talk about how much garden I have. Well, I have a 9-acre homestead. So on that 9 acres, I've carved out about an acre to do my garden. So I have about an acre to an acre and a quarter of garden space, and that produces 488,137 calories. Now that's an average year. Some years are better, some years are worse. This year was way worse, but we had a drought, I got sick. This year was worse. But in a survival type situation, then you're going to have to depend on more of that food. But let's get into that for a minute. Now, how much food does it take for the average human to survive? Well, there are a lot of variables, so I'm just going to take the average. The average human needs about 2,000 calories a day. In a modern lifestyle, needs about 2,000 calories a day to maintain a normal weight. So if we looked at that, on our homestead, it's just me and Crystal. The boys are grown and gone. They don't live here. So it's just me and her. So at 2,000 calories a day, 365 days a year, that comes out to 730,000 calories. Now, there's 2 of us. So that's 1,460,000 calories. Now that's a lot of calories to be required. We only raised 488,137 calories. So if you follow the math and look at that close, what you come out to is that's about 34% of our required calorie intake. Well, that's going to have to be made up somewhere else, and that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. We're going to talk about how you supplement this with other things like lard and pigs and goats and sheep and those kinds of things, so that you supplement enough to get by for the year. So we're going to talk about that as the series continues. So be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. If you hit the little icon, it'll take you to our channel and you can subscribe there. If you hit the bell, it will allow you to upload. It will notify you when we upload a video. We upload videos every Sunday, sometimes 1, sometimes 5. Just depends on what's going on the homestead that week. So with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.